Hi guys, hello, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how to achieve this slay right here. So if you're interested in this video, please make sure you carry on watching. I'm going to prime my eye with the Makeup Revolution Ultimate Eye Base in the shade medium. And guys, I'm going to do a voiceover for the eyeshadow look, because I don't like talking and doing my eyeshadow. I can't lie, this is one thing that I had to come to terms with. From now on I'm just going to explain the eyeshadow via voiceover, and we'll do the rest of the face together. You just gotta make sure that the primer is blended properly on the lid and there's no like harsh lines or anything like that, and it's gonna make the blending process easier as well. So for eyeshadow I'm gonna be using two different eyeshadow palettes. I'm using my Morphe 35B palette. This is actually one of my first ever eyeshadow palettes that I bought with my own money. I remember I was so gassed because obviously I was getting into like bold looks and whatnot. But yeah, I've also got this Ultimate eyeshadow palette from NYX. This is like a rebrand from the other one, and I feel like the colours in here are going to give more pigment and what we need. But yeah, I cannot wait to use this. Let's get into this look guys. I'm just going to go straight into the voiceover. I'm going to be starting off with this dark brown shade, and I'm going to be applying that into the crease area just to make sure that it's dark enough for when I cut my crease later on. As you can see, I'm just tapping it in first and then I'm going to blend it later on. And I'm going back in with this light brown shade just to make sure the edges are blended properly. I like to tap it in first and then blend. It just makes the step easier. And to blend everything in properly, I'm going to be using this nude shade just to make sure everything is blended the way I want it to. To cut the crease, I'm going to be using the Plouise blank canvas. I love using this stuff to cut my crease because it just makes sense. And I'm going to blend the crease using a brush just to make sure everything is in place. Next, you want to go in with the second shade you used and blend the edges before you apply the darkest brown. And for the crease, I'm going to be using this light pink shade. And then I'll go back in with that dark brown just to make sure the edges are blended properly. So the eyes are done and we are going to move on to primer. To moisturise my skin, I'm going to be using the Light Reflecting Moisturiser by Nars. I'm just going to go ahead and apply that to the skin. I really like this moisturiser. It just leaves your skin super glowy, which is always nice. And then I'm going to correct my dark spot using some concealer, and I'm going to be using the Studio Fix concealer from MAC, and this is in the shade NW50. This is basically my foundation shade. I don't really like using orange color corrector to do that because I feel like it messes up your foundation sometimes, so yeah. Gonna make sure that it's blended in properly with a different brush. This way, when you apply foundation, you don't really need to worry about like covering the dark spots that much. I've also been breaking out a lot, and I've been thinking, what is making me break out like this? And then I clocked, it's the baby bell I've been eating. It's doing bits to my skin here. Like I've got a massive spot here, I've got some on my forehead. Like it does, I feel like dairy products just don't work with my skin, but for some reasons I love having them, and sometimes you just gotta give it up. It's me, I win, you lose. That is basically the spots talking to me. But yeah, we are going to move on to foundation now. And for foundation, I'm going to be mixing two foundations, the Smashbox foundation and the Born This Way foundation. This one is very light and this one can be quite dark sometimes, so I'm just going to mix them both together to get the perfect shade for me. But yeah, I'm just going to apply them at the back of my hand and mix them together. They're both really good foundations, but for some reasons I just didn't get the correct shades. So yeah, I'm just gonna apply that to the skin. And I'm just gonna go ahead and blend it in with a foundation brush. So I just press it into the skin. I don't know why, but it's looking a bit orange. We will have to make it work, because I have no idea why it's looking orange. So just pressing it into the skin. I don't drag my foundation, guys. I literally just press it in, because I feel like when you drag it, it don't give you that smooth look. And you know, you've got hair on your face as well, so if you drag it back and forth, it moves. So now that that is nice and blended in, I'm gonna be going in with concealer. I'm using the Huda Beauty Full Filter Concealer in the shade Crumble. Also using that to clean up my eyeshadow. This concealer is also one of my faves. It's super high coverage and I like everything with coverage, so yeah. So this is what we are working with, and I'm going to go ahead and contour my face using my Kat Von D Good Apple foundation in the shade 80. I really like this because it just warms up the skin and just makes you look nice and chocolatey. Do you get? I am now going to be blending my concealer, and I'll be starting off with my forehead because this concealer dries really fast. I should have blended this before I did my contour, to be honest, but we know. I'm going to blend this part first with the concealer brush, and then I'm going to go in with my foundation brush just to make sure that it's all blended in properly. So I'm going to go back in with my foundation brush and just make sure, you know, there's no harsh lines here and everything is blended in as it should be. And then I'm gonna go ahead and start blending my under eye, and I like to start on the outside part like this. It just gives the inner part time to dry a bit more and then give you the coverage you want. And then I'm gonna go under the eye and start blending. I'm just going to add some brightness to my under eye, and I'm using the e.l.f. Camo Concealer in the shade Medium Warm because I love a bright under eye and she is the moment. And for that I'm going to be using a sponge to just blend it in. You see how bright my under eye is right now? That is exactly how I like it. And this beauty sponge is not wet, by the way, so yeah. I'm gonna set using the Huda Beauty powder in Banana Bread. I use this powder all the time, and if you don't have it, you need to get it. That is where it's at. Look how smooth it makes your under eye look. Oh, so nice. I'm basically just going to use that to set all the areas where I applied concealer. I'm also going to set around my mouth because it's forever creasing. And for the rest of my face, I'm just going to be using my Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I'm just going to ever so lightly go in with that. Let's tap a little bit at the back of my hand, and I'm just going to go ahead and set the rest of the face. Gonna go in with bronzer, and I'm going to be using the Juvias Luxe bronzer in the shade Dark. I'm just going to go into this darker shade down here, and I'll use that to bronze the face. You see how that just adds like colour to the skin, and we are back to looking our normal-ish shade. That's basically what you want to achieve. I honestly use the lightest hand when I do this because the last thing you want to do is like swipe all the makeup off, so you just tap it on the skin really. Also gonna use that to just make sure that the whole face is blended. For blush, I'm gonna be using my Born to Shine blush from OPV. This palette is amazing as well. These are the colors, so pretty. But yeah, I'm gonna be using this pink here, or should I use this? I've actually never used this orange color, so I might try that today. Actually, I'm gonna use this orange. It's not giving me much. Gonna go back to this one then. Well, I might just mix both. Yeah, I'm gonna mix both colors. And I'm just gonna add some mascara to my bottom lashes. I'm gonna set my face using the Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray from Charlotte Tilbury. Literally need to drench your face in setting spray. That way it will get rid of that powdery look and your makeup will just sit on the skin nicely. And to add a bit of colour to my inner corner, I'm gonna go into this shade. To line my lips, I'm going to be using my Luxe liner from Juvias Luxe in the shade Kola. On top of that, I'm going to be using my sleek majormophisis in the shade Birthday Suit. This is such a pretty pink. I don't normally wear pink, I'm more of a nude girl, but I don't mind this one too much. And then I'm just going to add some gloss from Juvias Luxe. This is just clear gloss, I've overused it, so yeah, that's why it's looking like something else. You see how it just adds like that nice sheen to the lip. So guys, this is the finished look. It's giving what it needs to give. I honestly love the way this turned out. It's looking so good right now. It's a shame I'm not going anywhere, but if you enjoyed watching me create this look, make sure you subscribe to my channel, like, comment and share this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.